Thank you very much, gentlemen. That's right. I'm standing ringside with Huni after that victory, which makes Europe undefeated as a regional team in the tournament so far. It means you're going to represent Team Ice in the finals tomorrow. So first off, how does that feel knowing that a lot's going to be riding on that finals tomorrow in order to take it all home?
I'm really happy about we undefeated and then we 3-0. It was just my maybe last present for my Euro fans, and then it was really having fun.
Right, because next year you get to show up for NA and 3-0 for us.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I got to ask you though. You came out with the Quinn pick as the last pick here, so you had seen the team comp coming from the LCK. Why was it that you went with Quinn in this composition?
I thought that their flex ping there was GP and Lissandra, so I didn't know who's going to come top. So I picked I didn't want to get counters, so I picked just a good burst against both of them.
Well, and you went pretty ham on that champion. A lot of kills picked up early. Next, though, I have to ask you about your early exit from the 1v1 tournament. When I interviewed you at the very beginning of this whole event, you told me you were going to win it all. What happened?
I think Prey is too good.
That's a good reason. That's a good reason to lose, I guess. So then I have to ask you, given the 8 remaining players, who do you think is going to win it all? Is Prey going to be the one to do it?
Prey should win because that's why I'm losing guy who.
Right, so you're basically second then. If he wins, you get second.
Oh, of course I'm second.
Okay, I'll take it. And finally, you're about to play in the one for all mode that's going to be coming up next. What do you think is the trolliest champion that your team could pick in one for all?
I would like to play Blitzcrank because.
I mean, it sounds like a few other people would like to see some Blitzcrank.
Sure. Blitzcrank is really good at hook and hook and hook and hook.
And what do you think is the toughest champion to play against in one for all? What would you be scared of having to play against?
Kind of brand like this, stacking CC,
that would be
stacking passive like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 5 brand ults and a bunch of pillars of flame.
Or it could be 5 Tom Kench as well. Eaten by.
There you go. It's like a Russian doll thing. Then.
Sure.
All of a sudden, 5 Tom Kenches come out of the other side. That would be bad. That'd be scary. Well, I feel you there, Huni. Congratulations on the victory there for all of Team Europe and Team Ice. Of course, thank you for your time. I'm going to let you go set up for the one for all matchup, and for now, we're going to send it back over to Shocks and crew to break down that match.
Thank you so much, Dash. Always loved listening to Huni. I'm going to miss him so much. And Dash's hair looks absolutely amazing. And I have to say that it kind of looks like a wing. And Quinn was extremely OP in that matchup of LCK versus EU.
Feeling a little inadequate here on the desk, just in the hair department.
Yeah.
We're kind of boring, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing?
Have some
Just
curls.
the side swoop.
In any case, this matchup, I mean, we got to start also. A lot revolved around the Quinn, and we were kind of discussing. She's obviously very strong, but hey, if she's there to pick, just pick it.
I mean, the thing is, okay, first of all, you can ban it.
Yeah.
You could have picked it. It was the last pick for Europe, so LCK could have played it. And people are now going to say, oh, it's boring. You know, Huni played Quinn. Well, he played Jackson. That was also boring. Then he played Fiora, and that was apparently also boring. I mean, there's 3 very good picks for him top lane, and he's going to get one of them. And then he's going to do this.
Yeah, he's going to completely take over the game. I think Quinn has been underutilized this tournament. There were 2 games so far in the regionals where it wasn't picked or banned, and I think that's a big mistake. And also, it's only been picked twice, once by Huni, but the other time it went to 80 carry for Prey.
Waste.
And it was completely underutilized. That's a big waste. This champion is incredible in the top lane. Just the Harrier combos you can pull off with the entire kit. I honestly think that Quinn is the closest thing to broken that we have on this patch in top lane, because once you get that snowball going, her transitional ability to make that spill over into other lanes is unmatched by any other champion in our game.
Is there any way with the comp that LCK had that they should have reacted differently to keeping the top lane down?
Well, to be fair, they could have also picked Quinn, even as AD carry. I mean, you know, Prey did play it last time. He also played in 1v1 tournament. He plays it, so he could have picked it for AD carry. I think they decided to switch it up a little bit. They didn't want to, you know, keep putting Prey on Quinn. A little too broken, you know? But then Quinn, he took it, and then he showed that it was still broken.
There's also an interesting interaction as well, because Lissandra is not an awful pick against it, because you can actually buffer your ultimate, which stops move blocks. So as soon as the command to use the vault is in, he would actually dive in and stop, not apply the damage, not apply the Harrier, and take the damage from the Lissandra tomb. So there's actually counterplay there if you know Huni's coming in and you buffer the ability. But I didn't see that at all.
I think he also died before level 6 a few times.
Yeah,
and
that's a big mistake as well. I mean, that's when it gets out of hand.
The question is then, is it your jungler's fault? You know, the standard, I'm dying top lane, must be my jungler's fault here. Problem is, Amazing is like everywhere in this tournament. When he's playing Lee Sin, he's playing Elise, like he was mid lane pushing in, he was ganking, he went top lane for ganks as well. He's basically just outplaying the other junglers at the moment. And that obviously allows Huni to do whatever he wants, allows Froggen to do whatever he wants, and that makes it very difficult to play against the EU team.
I was really underwhelmed by the Rek'Sai pick. I wanted to see a Gragas there for score. I think he's an amazing Gragas, and I think that's a better pick against a Nivea in the late game. I hate playing Rek'Sai.
Would probably been the
those
same
late
story
games.
early game, though.
It might have been, but I think that you have a lot of options. You can body slam towards a Quinn while he's vaulting and things like that and stop that as well. I think there's a lot of ways you can stunt that ability.
I mean, the Quinn definitely snowballed too hard that game. If it weren't for that, maybe it could have been different. Lissandra is honestly not bad. Just early game is really, really tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the same comes down to the fact that we were saying how Marin, of course, now it looks like he was dominated. He was, in part
bodied.
also because the Quinn was left to her own devices and could do whatever she wanted. And on the other hand, Faker having a good game, but sadly it couldn't pitch up in this one.
Yeah, I mean, Faker been a little bit up and down in this tournament. Gangplank still requires time to be a big carry. I mean, he had some good plays, some good barrel mechanics in the lane. We were fairly impressed by it, and then we were like, oh, it's Faker, why are we impressed? I mean, this is what you expect. Still, when his team falls so far behind, because bot lane as well, it's just like reckless farming versus prey, nothing really happens, and all about top lane matchup, and obviously when Quinn is so strong and can snowball, it gets out of hand.
Yeah, absolute snowball match. But with that, it's kind of fitting what it banks Ice another 100 points, 450 versus 350. And it also means that we will see the EU LCS All-Stars tomorrow in the regional best-of-3 showdown. And it's looking likely that it might still be against the LCK, of course. It could also be the NA LCS if they manage to win their game later, and they do it faster with cumulative game times than the LCK All-Stars. But if it was to be a repeat, LCK versus EU in that best-of-3, who would you give it to?
Well, if Quinn's banned, I think, honestly, I think LCK is a better team just because they're just really good. I mean, even though they lost that game, they had really good moments, and EU LCS had really good synergy as well. But I think without the Quinn, it's going to be a lot harder for them to win without Snowball. They have to kind of snowball, I feel like. I think LCK is just overall a smarter and stronger team, but EU is really good as well.
Yeah, I also think it's the difference between a best-of-1 and a BO3. EU is going to come out with the strongest things very quickly and say, we have to take those power picks, and Korea is going to say, well, we can play that best-of-3. Even if we lose a game down, we know how to adjust and come back in the next two. So I would think LCK would be able to adjust and take it home.
I mean, we see this from Korea very often. They leave some of the OPs open in the best out of one, and then when you get the series or the best of series, they ban them or play them. I think the teams are very even, because I think like Froggen and Amazing and so on are able to challenge Faker and score. I think the bot lane is like basically just a farm fest every game. So it's about Huni versus Marin. And I think if Huni is not on a snowball champion, doesn't get this good of a start, Marin will be better. That could be the decider. I think it's going to go all 3 games.
Well, it could still be an NA LCS versus EU LCS All-Stars matchup as well, left to be decided. But we're going to step away while Team Fire and Ice prepare to face off in our one-for-all mode. The 2015 All-Star action continues in just a few minutes.
Wait, so if you take Lee Sin, what does Amazing play?
More autos are coming in as the Harrier, the auto, and Huni picks up a kill. So much damage down. The war cry from Huni as well.
Quinn! Oh my god.
Oh, everyone caught up there. The wall into the bullet time. Huni off to the side as well. The wombo combo.
Yeah, I got no flash, no flash, no flash, no flash.
Nothing.
No flash.
Lissandra from side. Okay, Lissandra no E, Lissandra no E.
Lissandra. Look at Lissandra.
Tower.
Miss no flash.
EU picking up the win up against LCK, looking incredibly dominant.